this disclaimer out. Not everybody wants your money. And 99.9999999% of the time, this has been a little longer devotional. So if there's a part 2, here's part 2. Here's part 2. So our morning drive devotional. Check this out. I was saying 99.999% of the time, the people who complain, that complain about the expenditures of the church, the preacher wants the money, what y'all doing with the church money, blah, 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 blah. 99.9999% of the time, those are folk who don't give no way. They don't give nothing. And if they give something, they give a very minimal amount. Very minimal. Their job is nothing more than to come and tip God and tempt you to overthrow the church and the pastor and the leadership. That's what they do. That's what they do. They have private meetings. They make phone calls. They make their rounds to people. Let's go to dinner. When dinner comes from being just dinner, comes to being a gossip session. You know, man, I fall and prey to that foolishness. I've been baited into that kind of mess, which won't ever happen again. When you think people really for you and they're not for you. Another subject, another time. My point simply is this: yes, it has happened. Yes, people will mess up, but man, I'm telling you, quit listening to all these people who ain't never got nothing good to say about the church. Never got nothing good to say about the pastor. Pam Vaughn is with the Lord now. Pam Vaughn said, a person can make their mouths say anything. She could have never been more right. You can say you love your church. You can say you love the vision. You love the direction that the body of Christ is going. But at the end of the day, your mouth and your feet and your heart are totally disconnected. You, my sisters and my brothers, you make your own opinion. You draw your own opinion about your pastor, about your church, about the direction your church is going. You get in the trenches, you get out there, you sit down, you evaluate, you listen to the heartbeat of your ministry. Quit letting folk tell you how to think about your church. Quit it. Quit it. Now this is going to be a tough pill to swallow. If a person can convince you to think one way about somebody that they don't like, if they can convince you not to like that person or support that person has convinced you, because you know why? They got the title deed to you. They practically own you. If they can convince you to dislike somebody who's never done a thing in the world to you, nothing. Never did anything to you. Y'all ain't never had a crossword, but because your friend don't like me, or don't like her, or like them, they've convinced you not to like them. And you fell for that mess. You fell right into that. And then when they get done with you, they move on to the next person. And then you want to revert back to the person that you fell out with for no reason. And then they're unsaved. They're not Christ-like when they tell you to kick rocks. When they don't want to be bothered with you. They won't let you back in because you did them like you did them. Come on, y'all. You're a grown man. You're a grown woman. Take your own opinion of a person. You draw that on your own. Quit letting people dictate to you like that. And we can bring change the moment that the preachers get on the same page. I alluded to that earlier, so let me get back to that. The minute we stop comparing budgets, pockets, cars, jewelry, skins, the building size, the number of people who come to church, and watch this. This is gonna be from my heart. The minute you stop being a politician, become a pastor, then we'll see genuine results. We see results predicated on your political position and not your pastoral position. Okay? Trust what I'm telling you, man. The way as crooked as our politicians are, they getting a worse rap than the pastors. So why would you be leaning so much towards that political stance and not your pastoral stance? We could care less how many boards you own. We could care less how many times you've been to Italy and Israel. You know, some of us could care less about that. Man, what can I glean from you to help me become a better man? What can I glean from you to be a better pastor, to be a better husband? Instead, I got to be seeing certificates and all this other. Man, listen, help me be a better me. That's what I'm looking for. Help me be a better me. All that other stuff, y'all can keep it. I probably won't ever, once my 10 years up, I probably won't ever even look at another pastorate. No, sir. I don't know. I don't think that me and God would have to have a long discussion if he wanted to take me from this church to another one. At this point right here in my life, it'd have to be an awesome, man. It would have to be some serious guarantees in this building, boy, because I'm telling you, I've never seen such a competitive field in my entire life. And let me go against the grain. I ain't never had a whole bunch of people that I rode with, okay? I ain't never rode with a bunch of pastors, all right? I ain't never had no long itinerary of preaching engagements, okay? Never. Have I preached a couple, 2 or 3 times, 4 times a year in some certain churches? Yes. Have I ever had a book full where I'm preaching? No, I've never. So you can't miss what you ain't got. And you can't miss it based on what your current condition and situation is. Don't let the devil use that foolishness because it was never that way. Why don't nobody like me because of this? Like, man, listen, they ain't never liked you. Why you tripping? Well, they didn't invite me to preach now. Well, they ain't never invited you to preach. I got friends of mine, been my friend ever since I started preaching, but they ain't never preached for me. And I've never preached for them. My friendship, our relationship is not predicated on how many times we can share each other's pulpit. See, that's ignorance right there. So quit letting people drop stuff in your spirit that is just flat out ignorant. Not ignorant, I mean ignorant, all right? That's part 2. I'm sorry. I kind of felt that thing there for a minute. Y'all, we got to be better. We got to do better. We got to be better. All right? Peace. Have a good day.